Good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are. Welcome to the Empowering Women series. My name is Pia McAdams. I am an author. I'm also an accounting professor and a certified life coach. I specialize in personal and small business finance and also fitness. I help people reach their goals. So welcome to this series, the Empowering Women series. And this is where we as women can share our triumphs, our joys, our failures, our successes, in the hopes of showing that we are not alone, that we all are going through this journey called life. And there's different experiences that we're going to go through. And I want us to know that we go through the same thing. We don't have to suffer alone. So this is a forum where we can actually share what we're going through, and it helps to build up each other. And so I'm so excited in today's broadcast to be talking to a really, really close dear friend of mine. His name is Trevor Pace. I actually met Trevor, I'll say it's been probably about 25 years ago, like when I was like 2 years old or so. And I met him in college. He actually he was in a fraternity, and I became a sweetheart to the fraternity. So he was a big brother of mine. And so that's how I met Trevor. And, right away, like if you know who Trevor is, you know how he's always into fitness. We hit it off like immediately just because we have a lot of the same interests. And Trevor and I, over the years, our paths kind of similar in that we, both took a passion to fitness. And so he's been doing fitness for like over 30 years. So probably when he was like around 2 or 3 himself as well. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Trevor. And we're going to be talking about, again, it's the Empowering Women series, but this is a male perspective. And we're going to be talking about being unhealthy and how this may be counting you out from your true blessings. All right. Hey, Trevor, you're on. How are you?
Well, hey there, Pia. And how's the audience out there doing? How's our I guess what we say, the web video audience? How's everybody doing out there? Yes, we did meet quite a while ago. It's been a long time ago. I remember when we.
It was just yesterday, Trevor. You don't have to get
Yeah,
worried.
it was. I don't have that much gray hair. I don't think. Yeah,
And
it's
mine here.
yeah. You got it up top. I got it right here.
Let me find mine.
Yeah, yours is right there. Mine is right here. So that's about the only place I have the gray hair. So that Brill cream is working really well. But but no, it's a pleasure to be on your show. It's going to be a pleasure dealing with the reality of what happens when you're not unhealthy. And I think we're going to push a little buttons with people, and we may offend a little bit of people. So hey, ladies, I do this in love. Hey, it's in love. So
Hey, we want to hear the perspective. So sometimes it may hurt, but it's all about the truth, right?
exactly. And so don't you can put my head on a dartboard and toss some darts at me every once in a while. But ladies and gentlemen who are out there, this is going to be a show that's going to kind of open your eyes to what men actually think dealing with health, because I hear it a lot from women about what they think about a man needs to be tall, dark, and handsome, and all this, these little things that women like to say about the man with his health and his finance and things like that. So, these are some of the things that we kind of discussed, and Pia and I kind of discussed a little bit of them yesterday. So I will have you laughing a little bit, but I may have you kind of wanting to strangle me by the throat. But a little bit about what I do. I've been in the fitness industry for about 30 years. I've done the bodybuilding, worked with bodybuilders, worked with figure athletes, was the senior fitness and health administrator over with both Henry County and Clayton County up here in Georgia. They're senior centers, so I work with the seniors quite a bit. So, I have quite a bit of experience dealing with both young and middle-aged and older women. Some of the oldest women that were in my group that I've worked with are about 95 years old, and you could never tell that they were 95. I think we were all thinking that they were in their 70s by the time they had been with me for about 6 or 7 months. They can outdo most people who were in their 30s as far as their exercise and fitness levels. So we not only dealt with it on land, we also dealt with it in the pool, and getting people their aquatic fitness also was important. So, it was a whole gamut of different things that we did or that we do with our people. So, I don't know. Let's get this party started. Let's go ahead and start talking about what we have to do, because I know Pia has to lead me into these things, because sometimes I get kind of carried away. So she's going to be that referee that will kind of say, "No, that's too much, Trevor. No, no, don't say that."
Trevor, we're similar, because sometimes the truth hurts, but sometimes you have to be confronted with the truth, right? So I don't know. Sometimes I might just sit back and be like, let me let that one slide. Or sometimes I may be like, I don't even want to approach that one.
Well, let me tell you, this is the thing that I find with a lot of women. They are so used to giving the man the truth, but a lot of times they don't want to hear the truth coming from a man. So, and a lot of times, even if the man is telling the truth, then they tell the man that he's lying. So,
you know what, Trevor? I will say this though, as speaking for a woman,
okay.
I will say it really depends, because let me tell you this. I know, like, for instance, I'm dating someone, or when I was married, particularly.
Okay.
If my husband at the time said something to me like, "Oh, Pia, that dress, it's not flattering to you," okay, I would have taken such an offense to that. But at the same time, my girlfriend could have been over and said, same dress, and Pia, you look fat in that dress. I'm like, "Oh, really? Let me take it off."
Why is that? Why is that?
I think it's because we want, it's hurtful from the person, particularly the guy that you love or trying to gain the respect, when they tell you truth. Like, and what makes it so bad is we know it ourselves because we see it, right?
but the funny, but
we want to hear the lie.
But it's interesting. The interesting thing about it, Pia, is that that most men, when we say it, it's not out of vindictive means, and it's usually just, I guess, what was the book? Women are from Venus, men are from Mars.
Yeah.
Where was it the other way? Was it women from Venus, men are from Mars?
Yeah, that's it. You guys are from outer space.
Yeah, so it's usually the man is coming up and saying things to his especially the person that he loves, and I guess I don't know how they can put it into different words to make it sound.
I don't think it's in a different word. I think it's in the translation, because again, it really depends. If it's someone that you really that you love, and you don't want to hear a hurtful thing from them, particularly if your husband is already critical. Like, that's even worse. We don't even talk about that, right? Even if he's coming from a place of love, and he want to make sure that you look good and all that kind of stuff. Understand that when we hear it, all we hear is negativity. We're not, even though, like, for instance, we would sit here and analyze it logically. Yeah, we know he's saying I love, but who has time to do all that logical thing, right? It's more about emotional. And at the time you say it, my feelings are hurt. So therefore, all logic is out the window. Now I'm reacting based upon feelings. Sorry.
Okay. So should we as men deal with it on that level also? So we should, if the woman says, that. Oh God, are you wearing those shorts to the party?
But I mean, think about it. Okay, I guess you know what it is.
Honey, are you gonna wear that?
Now let's be honest. Now, Trevor, let's be honest. When it comes to, let's say, men and women, again, it's all about perspective, right? So I'm looking at it from a woman's perspective. Okay. When we're looking at our men, we're more tolerant toward certain things. Like, we're more careful in what we will say or how we approach a different. We're not going to tell you have a beer belly, or you got a gut, or you got this, that, and the other. We're not going to do that. We're going to be more tolerant about it. Now, we might talk about you like a dog to our girlfriends behind your back, girl, but not to your face. We're more, because we know how, we're more emotional beings, and so we know how it feels. So, in other words, we want you to have the same respect.
Okay.
Consideration.
So when the guy says, "Honey, that dress really is showing a bit too much," then the woman goes, "Oh my God, I think I was wearing it."
Oh, come on. But see, you just said a bit too much. So, like for instance, to me, that for me personally, that would not be offensive. But if you're saying that dress don't fit you, or that's too, too tight, or
Okay.
you bulging out of the dress, that's something totally different. If you're saying you're showing too much, then okay, I got a little too much cleavage showing. Okay, I understand. That's not a big deal.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. All right. So that leads us into our topic. What is our topic? Is being unhealthy.
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
Counting you out from your blessings.
Canceling out on our blessings, on your true blessings,
Yeah.
preventing you from achieving your true blessings. And I know we had spoken a lot about it, and please remember this is for men also, because I think we also some of the same things that the women are doing. I think we as men are doing also, and it's a constant. And also understand that fitness and health is not a respecter of persons.
Right.
It's kind of like God is. God is not a respecter of persons. Whatever one person does to their bodies, or eat certain things, or do certain things, it is going to reflect in what you're actually displaying to the public.
Right.
If you're eating unhealthy foods, you're eating a lot of salt. If you're eating a lot of high fat and high sugar foods, then it is going to show whether you're slim or whether you're heavy.
Right.
So a person who sits around it, like I've heard women who are slim. I actually used to work with some models, and they were talking about these other women in the gym, and they said, "Oh, I could never look like that. I would never let my body look like that." So
Never.
what I had was I had the heavier client one time, and she actually worked out with some of the slim girls, and so we were running the stairs, and so my heavier client took off up the stairs. She was running, and the slim clients were like, "How? What's going on? We can't keep up with her. What? No, she has to be doing something. Is she taking some type of supplement that's keeping her, that's making her run these stairs more than us?" And I said, "No, she's just eating healthier than you. She's eating healthier, and she's been doing fitness. You're slim, but you have not been doing as much fitness oriented exercises or oriented lifestyle than she has." So
Trevor, that actually brings up a good point, because what you just pointed out was that, we all think in our mindset, because of the media, that slim automatically equates to healthiness. And that's not what we're saying.
Yes.
You can be slim and unhealthy, and you can be bigger and healthy. So that's an important thing to note on that, because that's a misconception that people have, that slim people are healthy. And let me just tell you that a person that is like anorexic is clinically is considered obese because of the body fat. It's high. So understand.
And that's where you're looking at dealing with overly fat, as far as their body composition, as opposed to their muscle and their bone content. So so what you're looking at when we do like a analysis or assessments on our clients, or on people who are interested in changing their lifestyle, sometimes a slim person will show up having 40% body fat, 50% body fat, and they'll sit there and say, "How can I have that when the person who is heavier than me come out having 30 or 25% body fat?" And it's just the difference in the body composition, how the fat stays on a certain person, or muscle is on that certain person. So we wanted to talk more on how being unhealthy will cut you out from your true blessings. And I know a lot of times, like I was dealing with a lot of the churches a couple of years back, and that was one of the things that we actually dealt with the congregation, because we were dealing with the pastor who was preaching about, and we always talk about this, living life more abundantly. But, if you're having high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, having, rheumatoid arthritis because of your weight on the joints, there's not really you can't truly enjoy life to the abundance dealing with that. If you're having those unhealthy ways where you're eating, let's say for instance, I had some clients who were they decided that they wanted to splurge one day, and they were eating chitlins and ham hocks in their greens and
Okay, let me kind of like interrupt there because I'm on the West Coast, so West Coast we may not know anything about those. What is that? No, I was joking. Are you still there? I think your volume went down. I don't hear you.
now, can you still hear me?
Yeah, now I hear you.
You can hear me now? Can
Yeah.
you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay. So it's basically, that's basically the chitlins is the intestines of a pig. After they clear everything out of it, and then you got the ham hocks. I don't even know what ham hocks are. What are ham hocks? I didn't know what ham hocks are. All I know is
Yes.
it's bad for you. That's what I know. But the things that we look at when we're looking at dealing with weight is kind of like a checks and balance system. If you're putting into your body the bad things, and you try to say, okay, look, I'm going to eat about 10 bad things, but I'm going to eat about 2 good things, and that's going to make it all better. It just does not work. It does not compute. It's the same as I'm going to go out. I'm going to eat a whole bunch of spaghetti with meat sauce, with the carbs as far as the pasta and everything. I'm going to do that.
Your audio went out again. It may be the broadcast. Can you hear me? You hear me fine? Yeah, I don't hear you. I think your volume. You don't hear me either?
I hear you.
Now,
I do hear you.
okay, now I hear you.
I do hear you. Okay, so what is going on with the broadcast?
Technical difficulties. But it's like life, right? This is what happens in life, even in the fitness journal, right? You may have the plan and everything seems well written out, but when you get ready to implement it, sometimes you have to make adjustments because life happens. So just keep rolling.
Yeah. So if you guys can hear me. So what happens if you're let's say for instance, if you're doing your checks and balances and you're doing 10 things that are unhealthy. You can't outweigh it by doing 2 things that are healthy. I can't just go out and play on a golf course or play a tennis match and outdo what I ate as far as like eating a bowl of ice cream plus a plate of spaghetti and meat sauce.
So if I hear you correctly, so what you're trying to get, the point that you're trying to drive home is that if you're still have your unhealthy eating habits, just because you may change 1 or 2 things on the eating, and then what about exercise? What if all of a sudden I decide to exercise? Can I then say, okay, well, I can continue to eat what I want to eat because I just exercise and worked out hard? That's usually what a lot of clients think.
Yes, and the answer to that is no, because what happens. What happens with the body? Okay, let's look at it. Let's look at it as far as burning calories. Can we look at it like that? Can you?
Oh, geez, you're going out again. I don't know if that's on your end. Like, can you hear me? Yeah, I don't hear you. Not one bit. Are you doing sign language? There you go. Okay, you're back now. I hear you.
Round. If you're round. Okay. So, okay, where was I?
Your response was no. You can't continue to eat like you've been eating, and all of a sudden to start exercising.
Okay. The reason being is that when you're eating, you're putting a certain amount of calories into your body at one particular time. Okay, your body has to process those calories and utilize it as energy. If you're not doing, let's say for instance, a person, if they are not exercising on a daily basis, if they're not doing a certain level of exercise on a daily basis, then that food that they're putting into their body is not being processed correctly. It's not being utilized for energy. So what happens with that food, it becomes toxic inside the body. So the body's way of with exercise, the body utilizes that food for energy. It's just like an automobile. It uses the fuel for energy. It dispels it from the exhaust, and it goes out into the atmosphere. What we do when we eat, we're supposed to utilize it by movement, doing exercise, working out, doing different things. If we don't do that, the food just becomes a cesspool. It stays within the body. Although you may have a good bowel movement or get some of it out, it's not all going to come out because it has to be utilized. So it's basically going into the intestines, the large and the small intestines. Then it recirculates back through the body and it becomes a toxin. That's where you deal with the issue with your kidneys, where you deal with the issue with your liver, you deal with the issue with your bladder, you deal with the issue with every internal organ in the body. It's going to recirculate. It can't just say, okay, I'm going to stay toxic in the legs. It's just going to stay in the legs. No, it can't do that. The blood supplies the body all the way through. And are we dealing with blessings? I think I've gotten into a whole different gamut.
No, it's actually the same thing, right? Because the blessings is the output of it. But I like that. Let's go along with that analogy because I really like that because you talked about your body being a fuel. So with that being said, it's also important to address the type of fuel that you're putting in your body. Like for instance, if I'm eating potato chips or if I'm eating a candy bar just before I work out with all that sugar, can you talk a little bit more about that, like the types of fuel and how important it is to make sure that you fuel your body properly when you get ready to move? Otherwise, how is that going to affect you?
Yes. Okay. So with the body, you're dealing with complex and you're dealing with simple sugars. Mm-hmm. So a complex sugar is a sugar it breaks down a lot slower into the body. Something like a sweet potato, or even sometimes with the potato, if you're eating the potato with the skin, so you're getting the roughage also. So the body's able to break it down a lot slower, which means it's going to protect the pancreas and it's going to protect the other vital organs because one with the gallbladders trying to secrete the different let's say the different chemicals to actually break down the fats. It doesn't have to work as hard because if you're putting in, let's say if you're putting in vegetables, green vegetables or different things like that. Somebody jumped on. Hey, I get to jump on for a few minutes. Hey.
Hi, Nobel.
Hey.
That's a great topic. So finish up. This is good. This is actually good.
So I hope the volume stays with me. Okay, so if I'm putting in the vegetables, okay, one, I'm putting a life force into my body. Hey, Janelle, how are you?
Do you know Nobel?
I don't know.
You know what? You know her sister. You know Gay. You know Gay. Yeah.
Oh, really? Hey.
Janelle is her sister.
Oh, okay, cool.
Small world.
No, I do know. I do know. Okay, so what happens if you're putting in vegetables into your body? That's live food. That's life. You're putting life into your body. So the body is okay. Let's say the body is breaking down and cells are dying. Trillions and millions of cells are dying all the time. If you're putting into the body, let's say French fries or hamburgers, things that are dead food, right? So you're putting in dead food into the body. What's going to be the outcome years to go or months to go? You're killing off cells, right? Because you're not putting in life force into the body. So what happens? The body becomes tired. It becomes drained. let's look at it as far as a blessing is concerned. Somebody says, "Hey, look, there's a free thing over there. There's a blessing, but you got to run over there and get it. You're not gonna be able to run over there and get the blessing because you're too tired. You're gonna be, oh God, will somebody go get it for me?" So that person goes over there and gets their blessing, gets your blessing, and they say, I went and got this, it's mine. And they go ahead. And that's what happens with us. So let's get back on that with the toxins, with the vegetables, with the complex carbs, simple carbs. So if I'm putting in simple carbs, like you said, a candy bar, you go into the gym, you're working out with a candy bar, or drinking a Coke, even a Coke Zero. So you get so many people, Coke Zero, coffee with sugar in there. So what happens, your body does a spike. It shoots up with the energy level. But the reason why it's shooting up with the energy levels is because you got that sugar going through the system all at once. It's not being filtered. It's not being filtered at all by the pancreas or anything like that. So what happens is it's going through the body. It's trying to basically, it's shocking the body. The body's like, oh my God, okay, let me try to get rid of this stuff. Okay. So then what happens, you're dealing with the actual body becoming toxic. Okay. It can't break all that sugar down. So what does it do? It tries to recirculate it to say, okay, it's got to be utilized sometime. It's got to be utilized. How can we, hey, what's up, Bet? It has to be utilized some way. So it's going to the brain. It's going through all these different parts of the body. The brain, the brain's starting to go, oh my God, I'm getting really lightheaded because you flushing all this sugar into my head, and I really need some protein and some vegetables. But you put this sugar in my head, and I just can't function like that. Right. So you get lethargic, and then you say to your girlfriend, "Girl, I don't know why I'm feeling so tired. Oh my God, man, I need to take one of those energy drinks. Get
and
my energy level back up."
Right? Like that's after the initial stroke, and then because all of a sudden you got to come down.
Yeah. So okay, let me go ahead and get one of those Red Bulls. Because I feel real bad. I need a Red Bull or one of those monster.
5 hour energy.
Yeah, 5 energy. I need to take a 5 hour energy shot that'll make me energized for 5 hours. Which that thing is not going to get you energized in 5 hours. It's going to have you sick for the last 4. After you energized for that one time, you'll be, oh God, what's happening to me? And then you sick for the last 4 hours. So anyway, man, I done got off my. Hold on. What was I talking about here?
You were talking about the breakdown of the simple sugars and how it.
The simple sugar.
I got you.
There you go. Okay, let me stay on my point here. Let me stay on my point, Pierre. You done messed me up here. Okay, so I eat that, right? I eat the candy bar. I go into the gym. And what does muscle require in order to build?
Protein.
Protein. Is there any protein in the candy bar?
I don't know. On the back of it did say like 0.1 of a gram.
Oh man, that thing gets burned up by the time you chew. You must chew. or going down your throat. It's already it's digesting. That protein is gone just like that. So then, so what happens after that? You say, well, I don't know why my body's not changing. I don't know why I'm not able to lean out, but I'm exercising every day. I'm doing like an hour cardio a day. I'm on the phone talking to my girlfriend while I'm walking on the treadmill. I mean, I'm really working out. I'm really working out here. I'm with my trainer. I'm trying to do some workout with my trainer. I do about 100 crunches, every couple of days. Why is it not working for me? And really, and here's another thing, people, you need to realize this. Crunches are not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to burn body fat on your stomach. I mean, come on, let's be plain. How many of y'all been doing crunches for about 15, 20 years? Still
Jan got her abs because of crunches.
Yeah, yeah. So and then they sit and then you go, I can't get in that two-piece bathing suit. I don't know why, because I've been doing, let's see, over a couple of years, I've been doing a couple million crunches and sit-ups and everything about it. So what is the I guess what is the what's the solution? What is the
Right.
solution? The solution is, girl, shake your head. I'm shaking my head too. Am I being, I'm being too live.
Hey, you
Okay.
being real.
Yeah. So the thing about it, the solution is that you got to eat. You got to eat small portions because the stomach is about. Let's hold my hand up. Stomach is probably about the size of this, size of my hand. It's like just like that. It fits right into the left side of the body. Okay. So if you're making our stomach like this, swelling it out from this size, what do you think is going to happen? The body basically, what happened that, yeah, girl, I'm preaching, hallelujah, praise.
No, I'm talking about your body's expanding
That's
and your
right,
stomach.
that's right, it expands so much because the body is going to adapt to whatever you do to it, so it's going to expand. What happens when you expand the body? What happens to those joints that are originally there to hold a certain size, a certain bone structure? They're going to hurt. Then you're going to put too much pressure on them. You're going to cause them to have a lot of pain. And another reason why you're going to do that is because you're cutting the blood supply. If you're not giving yourself enough nutrients, then you're not giving yourself the nutrients to create the blood. Okay, so you're not getting that blood going into the joints. So what happens? You're going to have arthritis. You're going to have different things that are going on to the body. If you're not getting that EFAs, essential fatty acids, into the body through your food. Now you
Right.
can take supplements, but supplements do just that. They supplement the diet. So you still have to do a correct diet in order for those supplements to work. So I hear people all the time, my doctor put me on B12 shots. Okay, so how's your diet? And what did it do? Well, it gave me a lot of energy all of a sudden, but then it stopped working. You know why? Because you didn't give yourself the food that the B12 is supposed to help the body break down and utilize for energy. Because B12
Right.
is for that, it's for energy synthesis, right? It helps the body to break down foods and turn it into energy. If you're taking a B12 shot and you're not eating often, what's it going to turn into energy? Your muscles, your fat, your skin, your nails, your teeth. I mean, what is it? It really can't do anything. So, of course, you're going to get tired. You're going to start getting tired. And you're going to start having a lot of other deficiencies also with the body. You're going to have a lot of different things that are going to be coming up. You may end up hurting yourself in the gym because you're not giving yourself enough protein to rebuild the body. If you don't have enough carbs in the body, your energy level is going to run down. If you're eating too much sugar, like the ketchups or the Gatorades or different things like that that don't have the proper amount of minerals in there, then what happens? The body's still going to break down. You may get some results, but you're not going to get the full results or the full blessings that that God has there for you.
All
Does that
right.
kind
I
of
like
explain? That kind
that's
of
a good. Now let me
explain.
ask you this, Trevor.
Okay.
From a girl's perspective, when you see a woman, like what is your judgment? We all make. I'm sorry, it's what it's called. Call it what it is. What is your impression? Like, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Like when you see a woman, because again, we're talking about counting your blessings and understand. Because you and I were talking yesterday about going on job interviews and first impression. And even though we all talk about we're not supposed to be judgmental, what you reflect on the outside, that's what people have to initially judge and make. You know,
Well, they've interviewed a lot of different employers and different corporations, and they actually have these studies that you can actually read up on these studies. They have actually found that employers will hire let's deal with women, for instance, and it's not just women, but because
right.
they deal with men also. They will hire the person who is slimmer a lot faster than they will hire a person who even has more knowledge who is overweight. than the person who has a slimmer figure, who has a nicer figure. This is men and women. And the reason why they said that was because they want someone who represents their company to a certain degree. Also, they're looking at the person who is heavier, and this is discriminatory, but it is true. They're looking at that person as a person who is going to keep their healthcare costs lower for the corporation, for the company. Okay, so they see a person who is overweight as a person who's going to cost them more money to take care of, because that person is going to end up taking off more time off from work, because they're going to be, and this may not be true, it may or may not be true, but this is what they look at. They look at the amount of times that person is going to take off with sick leave, if they have the chances that they may have diabetes, and slim people do have diabetes too, because I know a lot of them who do. Who have kidney disease and things like that. But this is what the job employers look at. Now, if we're looking at the marketing end of it all.
Right, you went off. Oh, it's just getting good. Wait, you're off. I don't know what. Yeah, this is definitely technical difficulties, just as it was getting good. See if you're back on again. Good gracious, no, don't hear you.
Looking at.
There you go. Wait, you're breaking up. You're coming up a little bit.
Oh, I'm back on? Am I back on? How long is this show?
It's when you're done. It's just a conversation.
Oh, wow. So we could go for hours then. Okay, good.
Well, not hours. Well, I mean, if it's good stuff and people want to be on it, I'm getting hours.
This is a 24-hour shoot the breeze program. No. Okay, so let's get back to the marketing aspect of a person being overweight, or a larger person, as opposed, because remember we said that a person can still be overly fat and be slim, right?
Right.
But that person is going to look a certain way in clothing. Okay, so that person can get away with wearing certain clothes, and people go, oh, they look good. Especially his thick sister. You hear this thick sister. I'm a thick sister all the time. I hear that all the time. I'm thick and I'm juicy. I'm like, no, let's not use that word. Yeah, you got to get on in the gym. My man likes it. No, let's get in the gym. Let's get this body together.
No, seriously, let's talk about that. What if her man does like it? Like some men do like bigger women.
Yes, and I mean, I think beauty comes in all different shapes and sizes. I'm one of those people that looks at beauty comes in all shapes and sizes. But there is a such thing as but you do have to get your body in shape. And if you're having let's say for instance, if your waistline is about the size of your shoulders and your chest, then you got to deal with that. Because we can laugh about it sometimes, but that's going to run you into a lot of health difficulties down the road. Because what that is showing, when you have that tie around your waistline, or when your body is thick in that waistline area, that is showing that it. Janelle, girl, you interrupted me. No. That's all right, Janelle. You telling the truth. That is true. But what it's telling is a telltale sign that in the future, or maybe in the present, that you're going to have issues with your gallbladder, with your liver, with your kidneys, with your intestines, with all those areas that are down there. That fat is just trying to protect those organs, and it can only protect them to a certain degree. The fat is trying to hold in the toxins that are the overeating of certain foods that are being toxic, running back through the body. When you're dealing with that, if your waistline is that thick, then that means that one, you're gonna have a hard time going shopping. You're gonna have a hard time going shopping. I mean, I can actually say I'm there with that because I've been around a lot of folk when we go shopping and everything, and women who overweight and they go shopping and then I don't know what to wear. Nothing fits me well. I'm this, I'm that, and so I always took the theory of this. We want to have our bodies where we make the clothes look good, not where the clothes make us look good. That's just what I look at it. I want to be where I can put on anything or nothing at all and still, get compliments. I don't want to be around where you have to keep clothes on and then people go, oh, you look so cute, or yeah, oh, that looks so good on you. And then when the clothes are off, it's like, put those clothes back on, child. That that's
See, there you go again. That's that male. That male is
that's the male. But you want to hear what the male has to say, right?
right. That's true. That's true.
This is what we sit and talk about. Now women sit and talk about a lot of different things, but then when it comes to the male, they want to try to believe that the male is talking good about them being the way they are. Now let's get to the one where the guy is attracted to the guys attracted to the big sister. Let's say the big girl.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have you ever noticed that most men now they will have sex with the big girl, but usually they end up marrying someone who is smaller, or they start having difficulties being attracted to the one who is heavier. If that person starts getting heavier and heavier and heavier, this is coming from the male point. So I mean, ladies, y'all can throw darts at me, but this is what the male is thinking. This is what we sit and talk about. We're like, man, I tell you, I love my wife, I love my girl, but man, she got to drop that weight. She got to get that weight off, and and it goes to where you're looking at, okay, a female likes to have that tall, dark, or the tall guy, or a muscular guy. And why? Because it provides them with protection. It gives them the security. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They want to have a man who has plenty of money. I hear a lot of women, oh yeah, I want to my man got to make sure he owns this. He's taking care of this, and that. And a lot of times we're struggling trying to keep up with that, But on the male side, most men that I speak with, and we're not just talking about guys in the gym. I'm talking about other guys around in the barbershops and stuff like that too. They'll sit there now, privately with the girl, baby, I love you any way you are. I love you any way you are. But watch that girl when she lose that weight to get her body toned. See how that guy starts acting. It's like it goes from, huh?
Let me ask you this. Some women on stage just had a baby. How do men at the pre-pregnancy weight versus the pregnancy and then like the after?
Okay. This is what I had a lot of partners who, with their wives get pregnant. And a lot of times and their girls get pregnant. Now they appreciate, they actually love that transition of woman gaining the baby weight, holding the baby and everything. That's all good. That's good. But what I've found is that most men, they want that baby weight to be gone within the year or within a year afterwards. So there's a time
so expect it to go, not going to happen.
No. Men are contrary to what a lot of women, what I hear a lot of my women clients say. Most men are not realistically. They know that's a hard thing to get rid of. The baby weight. So a lot of times when they say, baby, I got you this gym membership, or hey, why don't we go walking or something like that? That's kind of like them saying, okay, look, I mean, you had that baby weight on long enough. Let's you got the little fat that's hanging down long enough. Let's work on getting that together. So as far as a visual, men are visual. am I not, men are visual.
Yeah.
What Steve Harvey always says that, men are, we're visual creatures. Women are more emotional and spiritual creatures. We look more at the heart, and we look more at the actual, um, the women look more at, providing, that caregiving or taking care of that. Now the man, he looks more at the protection. He wants to protect his wife, but he also wants to showcase his woman. That's one thing, want to get you dressed up, take you out, have other guys look at you. Ooh, yeah, she looks really good. What's your mind? Can you hear me?
I hear you. I hear you.
You still hear me? Okay.
I still hear you.
All right. So are you hearing what I'm saying? Okay.
I do.
And I think as far as, we're looking at the blessings, we're looking at blessing each other. Okay. I think a lot of times when you're looking at a relationship, those are the things that, I'm, as far as me being a man, those are the things that I look at. And the baby fat, we look at it as saying, okay, there's time for that. There's a time for that, but it shouldn't be going on 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years down the road, where the child is 20 something years old and you still got that baby fat on your body. No,
but the reason why I brought this up, because a lot of times as women, obviously we're any man could pop on us. And so a lot of us women out there, like, as soon as we immediately want to go right back. And one of the things that mine is that our man is not attracted to us. And so I want women to understand that, there is body time, just a traumatic experience. Men understand that. It doesn't immediately, a year and a half, you should, if you work at it, you'll be back to your original thing. But it's not the next day. Because a lot of celebrities do that. Like, they, all of a sudden they show up and they're immediately like this. But we don't know what they're doing to get their body back that way is not healthy. We don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. And the thing too, we got to look at it like this. It could not be healthy, and it could be healthy, because what you're looking at, these people are spending millions of dollars or, thousands of dollars on certain treatments, that are getting them back together, like, their diets. And this is the thing that I look at too. The majority of those celebrities who are looking healthy, when you look at their diets, they have some pretty healthy diets. They eat really strict. Now, the ones that you can tell, even when they lose the weight, they look unhealthy. It still shows. It shows. So remember what I was saying, that fitness and health is not a respecter of persons. If that person looks unhealthy, like bone thin, and look like they trying to run away from somebody chasing them, or you need to catch up to them and feed them some, they are actually starving themselves, because they've lost muscle.
But okay, let's be fair here, because women out there thin, and no matter what they do, in other words, a lot of people think the problem is gaining weight.
Okay, now you're breaking up on me. I can't hear you. Okay.
So what I was saying was that, just to be fair, there are some women naturally thin, and they have a problem gaining weight. So I want you to make sure that we're not talking about that.
Okay, so we don't. You're right. You're right. We don't want to offend those people, because I have clients like that also.
Right.
And basically, I mean, if we want to get down to that, it's basically similar ways of eating that are going to get the change for a heavy person as well as a slim person. It's just that the slim person has to take in more calories in order to put on the weight. But we basically have to eat the same thing. You can't sit up. I remember I had a client one time that came to me, and she wanted to put on weight. So the previous trainer told her, "Look, girl, you could eat anything. You could eat pie, ice cream, just eat it all. You can eat it all times of the night." And you know what happened to that girl? she came to me. She was still slim, but she had a big old belly, a big stomach, and it went to her face, her stomach, and I think wherever the fat cells lie on that person, that's where it's going to go. So she had a big stomach, she had a big face. So I said, no, okay, this is what we need to do. If we're going to start exercising and we deal with that, you're going to need to start dealing with heavier weight. We're going to start dealing with heavier weight. We're going to cut back on your cardio, cut back on the cardiovascular that you're doing. But I want you to eat certain foods at certain times of the day. It's the same thing as a person who's losing weight.
Right.
Person, the difference is I'll tell the person who's wanting to lose weight, okay, we got to do more cardio. You need to eat the same foods that the person who's trying to gain weight is wanting to do. But the difference is we need to make sure that when we're doing it, that's right, Janelle. I have all different body types. That's right. So the difference is when you're dealing with that, the caloric intake is the caloric intake. So that person who is slimmer, he may have a faster metabolism than the person
Right.
who is heavier. So that person needs to eat certain foods. They need to do certain exercises. That person may be top heavy, where they need to build their legs up. So we do heavier workout with the legs than you deal with the upper body. The upper body may be doing higher repetitions, lighter weight. As far as the eating, you may need to do more protein during the day, more carbs during the day. Let's say that person can probably eat spaghetti earlier in the day to put the size on. Person who's looking at losing weight cannot eat spaghetti, or they can't eat wheat products or things like that, early during the day or during the day period, because they gotta burn off the calories that are already stored by the body.
Right.
So those are the things that we have to look at. So, slim girls, hey, we love you. We love you, girl.
Bella, we're about to end now. So, in conclusion, as far as like overall, can you summarize what you were talking about as far as being unhealthy and how that can count you off from your true blessings? Can you summarize it?
Okay. Being unhealthy, to summarize this, being unhealthy can cut you out as far as the things like getting a job or getting a higher position. If you're wanting to get a higher position, you may want to work on losing or gaining weight. Hey, let's look at both of them. It's basically it's basically giving your body the best shape that it can have, for the actual body type that you have. You're actually shaping your body up. So, like for me, I used to be really, really skinny. And
I remember.
you knew me when I was real, real skinny.
Yeah.
It took me a while to put that muscle on. I remember
Right.
people, they used to talk about me. Oh, he coming in this gym. He can't lift no weight. What is, man, this joker has just knees and shoulders. Just knees and shoulders. But okay, so you want to work on, let's get back to that. So shopping wise, you want to be able to get the right clothes. You want to feel comfortable going shopping. It can keep you away from that. 3, your health. It can deal with, if you want to keep your health together so that way you're not dealing with the diabetes, high blood pressure, different things, or even with cancer. If you're healthier, your body can battle the cancer a lot better. Okay, so cancer hides within fat cells. Any type of disease, even the common cold or the flu, if you're getting that, a person who is leaner has a chance to get over that a lot faster than a person who has a lot of body fat on them. And that's whether they're slim or whether they're heavier, a heavier person. So you're looking at that. That's another blessing. If I get a cold, if I get sick, I can get over it really quickly because I have a lean body structure. My body's also the body's temperature is a lot warmer, because I have the muscle. So that way, how does the body fight off infection? by heating the body up, right? You get a fever. So the body's
Right.
fever is a way of getting rid of. If your body's if your what resting body temperature is higher than another person's, then you have less of a chance of developing the infection, right? So the
Right.
bottom line, yep, that's right, Betty. The bottom line, you got to eat healthy, you got to exercise. Yeah, and no thing. You can take as many drugs, you can take as much fat burning stuff that you want to take. You are not going to get where you need to be. You're just going to be peeing out a whole bunch of supplements, and more than likely you're going to mess up your gallbladder. You're going to mess up something. Now, I mean, I've had clients who actually gone in drinking Red Bull. They had to go to the hospital because it's damaged their gallbladders. You know,
Wow. Yeah.
or their what is it? The adrenal system. Their adrenal system is shot because they drank so much that their flight system is gone. Their fight or flight system is gone. So they're tired most of the time now because their body has become dependent on eating. You know, taking in the fat burners and the energy drinks, the 5 hour energies. So that's the thing. Um, what are some of the other things? Because we're almost out of time. We got
Well,
four.
we're out of time. You know, Trevor, I want to have you back on because there's so many other issues that I want to address. Like, for instance, you know, as far as target training and all that, but there's a lot of questions that, you know, that I know women have. Me, a certified personal trainer dealing with clients, we talked about how it's different coming from a male versus a female. I wanted to talk about issues that we can talk about on the later broadcast. But for now, I want to just thank you for taking your time this afternoon.
And
It's
Pia,
morning time for me.
Pia, one thing I want to tell these ladies,
Okay.
don't be afraid of having a male trainer because the male trainer, a lot of times the male trainer is going to tell you things that a female trainer is going to try to kind of slide around, you know, but a male trainer is going to make sure that you get it together. We
You know what, Trevor? A lot of females don't want a male trainer because they know that they're going to have to work. They think they're going to have to work harder.
yes, and they will, but
That ain't necessary.
they will, but that's not necessarily because I mean, most of my workout partners, let me tell you, most of my best workout partners have been women. So
Mine,
like my
mine
best
been-
partners have been women. I mean, we used to work out pretty hard when we trained. Remember when we used to train?
oh,
We used
yeah.
to train really
Of course
hard.
I do. Of course I do.
And then we go hit that pool.
Go off in case people do want to get in touch with you. I want to give them your information, so it's up on the screen. Hold on, let me put it up there. Right here is facebook.com, bodyglyphics.com 8, and this is where you can get in contact with Trevor. Again, he is located out of the Atlanta, Georgia area, but online consultation and Trevor, do you as well, like maybe via Zoom or offer support like that as well?
Yeah, we also do video. We also do video training. We do that on the WhatsApp. You can contact me on Trevor Pace on there, and you can also just hit me up there. The actual phone number is located on that actual site there, so you can actually call and we can schedule a time to sit down and put together a program for you.
All right, perfect. And then one more thing before we do, before we're off, I want you to share this information because again, some really good points as it relates to that you get out on your all about educating to make sure that you're eating correctly. And I understand like some people don't like exercise, but it's a full regimen, if you will. It's a lifestyle change. We're not talking about anything that's temporary. We're talking about things that are long going to really help you. To take the time to thank the viewers coming on live. Thank you, Betty, all the other ones that are out there that didn't have, you know, if you do have any questions on here, again, feel free to reach out to Trevor. You can feel free to reach out to me. You can make this both, you know, moderate it and get back to you with any questions that you have. Okay, education and again, empowering women. We're not alone. That we're in it. All right, else, Trevor. Before we
Yep. So ladies, use this, you know, use this, what we're giving you. And I want you to do well. I want you to get out there, make a change, empower yourselves, get out there and receive those blessings that God has for you.
All right. With that note, we sign off again. Thank you. Next time. Bye.
Bye.